Stitching Big Things with Hallie. I'm Hallie. Thanks so much for joining me again today. Today is Friday, March 24th, 2023. How's everybody's 2 weeks been? Mine has been good. Normal spring things happening here. Schedule picking up a little bit at a time. So not much in the life department. So let's get to the stitching. I have a lot of stitching to show you guys today. And I actually have a little bit of haul. And I'm going to give 3 shout outs at the end. So stick around. Make sure you stay for the whole thing. Okay, stitching. For those of you who have not been with me for a while or been with me ever, welcome or welcome back. I have been using this year, some challenge groups to help me A, increase my stitching, and B, make sure that I don't miss any days of stitching. So last year I had a lot of days in the year where I just didn't feel like stitching, didn't get around to stitching, whatever. I'm working on that. I'm trying to improve on that. So I'm using these stitching groups and challenge groups to help me improve on that. So one of my challenge groups for March has offered us the challenge to take all of our full coverage projects and stitch on them 1,000 stitches. And if you do that in order of least amount of stitches stitched on the project to your greatest project that you have stitched on, I don't know, there's a bonus or something. To me, those things are irrelevant. It's just a nice challenge. And so, and I've got 1,000 stitches on all my projects. So if you caught the last video I did, I had the first 5 or 6 projects. I think I've got 11 or 12. First 5 or 6 were in the last video that I worked on, starting with my smallest stitch count. And now these are the projects that I have gotten a little more stitching done on, and I've gotten through almost all of them. So that's exciting. So I want to make sure I share those with you today. So that's why there's a big focus on full coverage. I do have a good number of non-full coverage. So if you're new to the channel and you don't only want to see full coverage, don't hesitate. There will be a lot of non-full coverage, big projects, but non-full coverage. Coming maybe in April or in another month. It just happens to be the way it's working out this month. There's a lot of full coverage stitching, which is nice if you love full coverage, or even if you don't stitch it, but you can appreciate it, it's kind of fun to see. So, okay, I'm going to start. I'm going through the order in which I stitched on things. I do have a secret stitch going on right now that I'm not going to show you. It is for StitchCon. I'm doing my small for StitchCon. So I will show you that when I get it totally completed, and maybe even after I've exchanged. I don't think anybody that's going there probably even watches my channel, but it's just in case. So anyway, so that did get done as well. I think I got 288 stitches. I like to give numbers. Again, if you're new, I like to give a lot of numbers. So not to make you feel good or bad about your stitching. They're just what I've done in the last 2 weeks. And it's the way I keep myself motivated, is by keeping track of those numbers. So first project I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to hopefully try to remember to show you what the artwork looks like. That's always my challenge, is because I always want to show what I've got here sitting in my lap. So first thing I worked on was Scaredy Cats. This is a Heaven and Earth design. I don't remember who the designer is, so I will put that down here because I don't remember. So that's the bad part. I have tried to stop using the paper pictures and tried to go to just editing in some pictures, but then I can't remember who the artists are, and I want to make sure so anyway, Scaredy Cats. Here is where I am at. I had a little bit that I needed to add in on this project from the last time you saw it. So I think I only added in 284 stitches, almost didn't show it because sometimes 284 stitches can get lost. I think I did a little bit in the ears. I did a little bit more of color completion up here and then followed those out. But it was really mainly around the outside of the cat in the purples, and some of those purples included inside of the ears. So 284 stitches on Scaredy Cats. That puts me at 12.65% completed according to Pattern Keeper, which is exciting. So there is that one. And I am stitching this on 20 count at Easy Grade Fabric 2/1. Okay, next thing I worked on is Snowman Ornament, the Enchanted Snowman, something like that. Again, I will list who the designer is because I can't remember. I'm gonna have to figure out a new way to handle that because I don't like not being able to tell you and having to edit that in, but that's okay. We're not gonna worry about that at this moment. So here is where I am at currently. What did I add on this one? This one needed to get its full 1,000 stitches. The 284 stitches were left over. I hadn't quite completed that the Thursday to Friday. So on Friday after I recorded the video, when I was able to sit down, I was able to get the 284. So that completed that project. So then I was able to go on to the next one, which was this project. And I was able to add in all of these fun reds in his scarf. I had none of those stitched. So I added 1,079 stitches on this. And that brings Pattern Keeper up to about 44.06%. So really fun, exciting to see that coming around. So I'm stitching this, I think this is probably 20 count as well, Easy Grid Fabric. Yeah, you can see the Easy Grid. And I'm kind of, at this point, doing color completion. Dizzy Stitcher Darren was doing this project and he was doing it color completion as well, which encouraged me to do that. And it's been fun on this project. It's easy, it's not very big. You know, I was able to work on just those reds. I think I completed 2 more zeros. I think that's why I did those extra 79 stitches was I just needed to complete those colors. So super exciting. It's coming together a little bit at a time. He still looks a little demonic, I think, but that's all right. He will get filled in eventually. So I think I said 20 count, 2/1. The next project I worked on is, and you guys have seen this year already at least once, if not a couple of times. Oh, let me start here. Sorry, I got excited again. I wanted to show what I had in my hands. This is Forest Spirit Santa, I believe, and it is by Charting Creations. So, and this one is a challenge. This one is very, very confetti heavy in this background, and so I am busy working on that. What I added in this time was basically I had a bunch of these threads that were over here and they were hanging right here. So I basically kind of picked the edge, and which I still got a couple over here, you can see. So, but I picked the edge and I just started working those colors that were parked across. So I didn't even get that far. I think I made it basically to about here. Some of them didn't even go that far, but I basically moved them over, filled in, really worked on getting that space filled in. So it's much, much denser than it was. This, I added in 1,042 stitches, and it is at 6.63%. This one does stitch up considerably slower. It does take me longer to get those 1,000 stitches on this project, but I very much enjoy it. So, you need details on this project. Details, 25 count easy grid fabric, 1/1. So, alrighty. Then this one's gonna have an extra, I've used this, it was next in my line of amounts stitched, but I've also used it for some other challenges as well. So this is gonna have a few more than its basic 1,000. In fact, oh here, this one that I'm talking about is The Wool Shop by Lucy Pittaway. That one I do know. By Lucy Pittaway, and I love this one. So this one got 2,193 stitches. So where did I add in stitches on this? Because I like to kind of bounce around a little bit. I did fill in a few more. There's still a few more here at the top of this lantern. Not really ninja stitches, but just, you know, there's maybe 40 stitches in total here. So I add a few of these, and then I did spend a lot of time. I filled in a lot here, and I'm working my way slowly. This way, this is all going to be one color. So, you know, I put a few strands in, and then I go to another area. I also spent a lot of time. This is the top of the wool shop. So this is kind of that, kind of the transition, I guess, between the roof and the side. And so I was able to add in a few more stitches. I've started to get some colors going across here. So I added 2,193 stitches on this. So this is probably one of my biggest projects. It just has a whole lot of stitches in it, and I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. This is at 6.85%. I think I started this in the fall last year. So super, super fun. Very much, it's easy to pick up and get. You know, if I need big numbers for a challenge, or I need to get it done quickly, this one is easy. Easy, easy, easy. 25 count easy grid fabric, stitched 1/1. So full cross. I do everything in full cross, not a tent stitcher. So, okay. After that, then came trimming the tree. And this one I definitely know for sure. This is what it looks like. Trimming the Tree is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and it is by Randall Spangler. Hold on, I'm gonna grab a drink real quick here. Okay. This is Trimming the Tree, and I was able to add 1,463 into this project. So where did I add things? I basically started up here because I had gotten a good amount of the background done. So I was really super excited to kind of work on the little dragline. And so I basically started at the top over here on this ear. I guess it's an ear. And I worked across. And then I added those same colors over here. A lot of those came down through the top of his face. So a lot of those light greens got added. All of those light greens got added in. It also comes down here in this spot, you know, if you've got some lighter tans, there was some colors that got brought down and got added into here as well. So, but the majority of it got done up here in his face. So he's coming together little by little. I think I already said 1,463 stitches, but just in case I didn't. And that puts me at 15.36%. So excited about that one as well. I'm stitching this on 18 count easy grid fabric, and it is being stitched 2/1 full cross. Okay. Then in the midst of all the full coverage, I had a non-full coverage project speak to me, and I thought, and I had some challenges in other groups that I could accommodate this. So I pulled out Snow Friends banner. Here it is. from Stony Creek. And if you have been with me, you guys know that I'm pretty much, I have one letter left at the very bottom, and then I have to backstitch those snowmen and letters that I hadn't done. So I had pretty much needed to start the backstitching. I had the head of the snowman, like this part of the tree, and I had the bird backstitched and the S. So I came around, did the rest of the tree, came down and did the rest of his body. So the S is completed. Then I came down and I did the T, got that all completed. Then I came down and did the M, and I got that all completed. I came down and did the A, and I got that all completed. And I got to the top of the S. And then I had to pick up some colors, which I have done. I had run out a couple colors. And so I need to add that snowman in, and then I need to backstitch the S. And then this project is complete. So that's super exciting. Stitches that I got added into this. Keep in mind, there were probably maybe less than 20 full stitches that got added in as full stitches that I was like, oops, I forgot that. And so I would, you know, as I'm going to backstitch, I'll be like, wait a minute, that's not the right shape. And then I would add in those little random stitches that I had forgotten and passed. Most of this is backstitch. You saw lots of letters got and little snowmen got backstitched. 2,129 full stitches. So a lot of backstitching. Easily 3,500 stitches in backstitching. So, and for whatever reason, normally I kind of shy away, and that is all I wanted to do. It's just, it was super easy and it was super fast and it was just going. And so I am so stinking close on this project. So let me start at the top. I'm going to give you a whole view of each of the letters because I only gave you half. So let's start at the top so you can see them all. Here is where we start. Now, you will notice none of these snowmen have noses, and a few of these trees look like they're missing some stars. Well, I got close enough and I thought, I better get that stuff ordered. So I jumped on Stony Creek's website, ordered the noses that I needed, and ordered the stars for the top of the trees. They have shipped, so they are on their way to me. So I don't even know that I can get it all in. I can't get it all in. I guess maybe if I did it this way. It's long. It's so long, which is great. It's going to be beautiful. So those will get added as soon as they come. I'm going to work on getting that S done when it speaks to me. This one is one of those projects that go really, really well when it's calling to me. So it may not happen in the next, I would love to have it done in the next couple weeks. I don't know about the next 2 weeks, but maybe in the next couple weeks, sometime maybe in April, if I could get that done, then I could get it over to Lisa and have her frame it and have it for Christmas. And wouldn't that be nice? That'd be great. So super excited about that. Details on this one, I'm stitching this on a 16 count white Aida that I had in my stash from a long time ago. Stitching it 2/2, full cross obviously, with all the called for colors, and it's just DMC colors. So I'm getting so close on this. So excited. Looking forward to having it done. So that was a big one. Then I was able to pull out another full coverage. I pulled out Red Maple Fairy, and I think this one, I don't remember. So I'm gonna put it down here. We're gonna work on that. Okay, anyway, Red Maple Fairy. Here is where we are currently at. Okay, if you've not been with me before, Here's her eye, one of her eyes. Her other eye and her whole other side of her face all the way up to the top is done. So I'm basically, and then this whole top above her, which is the top of her head in the background, is done. This is her, the leaf that's by her ear, by her eye, kind of holding her hair back, and then her wing. And so this is what I basically spent all my stitches time on, was getting those different reds put in. I added 2,053 stitches. So I got my 1,000. Absolutely did not want to put it away. Took me one full day and maybe a little more on the second day. And I just did not want to put it down, but I needed to move on because I had one full coverage left. And then we had a pause in one of my challenge groups because some of the graders are going to a retreat this weekend. So I needed to pause on what I was doing. So this got pulled out again. And I basically spent yesterday adding in stitches on this one because it's speaking to me. It's in this leaf. It was not big chunks of color, but easy stitching color. There was lots of paths because as you were kind of going, through the vines, and it was great. I just stitched away on it yesterday. So I was able to get 2,053 stitches in on that. It's at 42.33% currently. So I will probably continue stitching on it. I need to get a few more. I need to finish up some of those reds down through the bottom. And then I may bring her hair down. I don't know. This is all background that's the same color. I may add in a few strands over there. I may really start heavy on her eye. I'm just going to keep working on this until it's not calling to me anymore. Until when I pick it up, I don't feel like I don't want to put it down. So you will continue to see this project as well. I am stitching this on, I believe this one is 16 count. Nah. I bet it's 18 count. 18 count, easy grade fabric, 2/2. So she's gonna be big, she's gonna be huge, she's gonna be gorgeous. So, love it. And then, if you have been with me for any amount of time, this was my very first project that I ever did, full coverage. And kind of has been my focus piece for the last few years. I would not say it's been the sole focus, but it has certainly been the one I've tried to get a lot of stitches in on. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Cookie Fairy from Randall Spangler. You guys have seen it if you've been with me at all. And here is where we are at. I was only able to get in about 544 stitches before I had my pause that I had to do. So I am going to hold off on this. I am going to continue stitching with other projects, but this is my last full coverage project. It has the most stitches. I think it's got 90,000 already stitched into it. So all the top is done. And this is the bottom corner. And I've got a little strip that's going to come over here as I move the Q-snap. So what did I work on this project? I basically have been working up here in the background, bringing in these purples here, here, and here. So I did bring a little bit down here. I think I had some colors that came down here too, but mainly what I'm working on are the bricks, the purple bricks at the top and the screen at the top of this coming down into the dragon. So 544 stitches, so not a lot, but we'll get the rest of it added in here before too long. I think I can go back to that on the 28th. So I've got it noted in my calendar when I can get back to that. So we'll make sure you guys will see that again. So it will wrap up its stitches and get, if I feel like I want to add in, another full 1,000, I may do that. We'll just see. Currently it's at 66.28% complete. So that is exciting. So I have now, even as of today, I haven't finished it, but I have now touched all of my full coverage projects, which is really good because last year I didn't do that. So that's been nice. I love it. It's exciting. It's been a good challenge. I almost kind of want to keep keep rotating through them, because while you don't get big stitches on one, it's kind of nice to see them all. Like, I love all of them. I started them all for a reason, and I enjoy stitching on them at different times for different reasons. And so it's nice. I was really glad. I was really glad that that challenge came up and that I have completed it. So, okay. So grand total for the last 2 weeks, because I was just curious after, because this was a lot of 1000s. I usually like to do a little more than that, but it was a lot of 1000s. It ended up at 10,787 stitches for the last 2 weeks. Not too bad considering I've been traveling and been busy with some personal stuff at home, but not too bad. So that's great. We'll just keep chugging along on all these projects. So I told you that I had gotten some haul. So I don't buy a lot of stuff. I have big projects and I have a lot of them. But back in December, I guess I was, while you're doing your Christmas shopping, I was feeling like, maybe I will get something for myself. And I jumped on the Haid website and I got some material packs from Heaven and Earth Designs, and they arrived in I think I had them last week, but I didn't, so they've been here a few weeks, no big deal. But I did want to show you kind of what they were and show you that I've got a couple of these projects all kitted up, which is super exciting. Okay, so what comes in the project? Let me show you real quick what came in it. I got 2 projects fully kitted. So they sent me, as part of when you get a material pack, it sends you everything that you need. So I got 2 because I ordered 2. So, but normally you would only get 1. These are, you don't get to choose. You are given what you get, which are great, no big deal. They sent 2 of those. Those are needle threaders, so you can thread your needles. They send you, if you order one, you'll get a small little case. And these are fun because they're wooden. You can paint them up and kind of design, if you want to, just throw a little paint on the outside. That's always fun. And they come with a needle inside. So you literally, other than scissors, you have everything you need to start your projects. So I had 2 of those because I ordered 2 packs. So what comes in the pack? Both of these I already had the pattern. So they were patterns I loved. I didn't want them to go away. And when I was looking at what material packs were available, I was like, well, I already have those and I would love to stitch both of them. So that's why I went ahead and got them. So let's start with, and I will show you real quick, and I'm sorry, some of it's still in its plastic, but I kind of wanted to show you how it came. It comes bagged like this. So this bag, this is the material, comes inside here. So it's kind of all packaged together. But you can get fabric or you can get no fabric. I chose the Easy Count fabric, 25 count, and this is for project Not a Creature Was Stirring. Let me put that picture up here so you can see what that looks like. I love that Santa. He makes me so happy. So I chose 25 count because that's kind of my go-to. I love it. And you can choose your size, your count. You can choose. You don't have to order fabric if you already have fabric. All of that, they kind of, you have a menu to choose from. And then I got all the flosses. So let me show you how they come in case you're ever interested or you want to splurge on yourself. I mean, I don't know that I would necessarily do this because I don't necessarily think it's a cost savings by any means, but it's a fun splurge. And it's kind of nice to have it all kitted and ready to go. And basically all you had to do was open the package. So that's why I did it. It was a nice splurge. And I've done it once. I did it for a wool shop and I loved it. And so, every now and then I probably, I wouldn't do them all the time, but like I said, it was Christmas and so I splurged. So this is how it comes. All of them, all of the threads come for what you need in the project. They all come labeled. They're laminated on these cards, punched, and connected with a bow. I have found that I do leave the bow in. You could also replace it with a ring if you wanted to, not a problem. I just loosened the bow so that I could actually flip these back and forth. It does keep them all together. I love it because if you're getting more than one, everything is listed. So you have the name of the project on top, which is great. And all of your threads are listed. These are the DMC numbers, which is great. If you run out, if you, I don't know, if your dog chews it up, whatever happens, you know that this color was 347, and you can go and get 347 and put it on here. I will caution you, when you get them, I would make sure that these are just plastic rings. They're pretty good. Sometimes they don't get clamped fully all the way. So I would caution you, just because I had it happen with my last project, that 2 fell off at the same time and I had to go figure out what color was what. So no big deal. It wasn't the end of the world, but you know, if you have a moment when you pull them out, just make sure, just squeeze them all and make sure they're clamped together so that they don't fall off. But it's super easy to work with. I love that it's laminated. I just keep it in this bag. You can just pull off one thread at a time, which I love. Oh, the other thing you will have to do, I better speak about this too. The other thing you have to do is it does come looped. So what I do is, as soon as when I pull this out to start working on it, I will go through and I will cut. This is just me. You can do it as whatever you want. I go through and I basically cut them in the loop so that I can just literally pull them out of the knot one at a time. If I don't do that, it tangles the whole thing up and you literally have to take it all off and like re-loop it. So I find it's a good length. It's not too terribly long. You know, if you like it longer, you could, you know, take these apart and make them longer. They've kind of got them doubled over, which is not a problem. It's just something to be aware of. If you try to pull out of this, you're going to get a mess. So I cut it at the loop. I just find the loop and I cut the loop, and it works great. I don't have to take anything apart. And I can just literally take my needle, get one thread out of any of these, and I pull it and it just literally comes right out. So it works beautifully, but you have to cut it. So just FYI, if you ever try that. So I love how they package this up. I think this is so sweet with their little paper. So I got that one. Sorry for the crinkle. I'm sorry. You guys know. I did get that one, and I also got, I forget what it's called. I need to look at it. Mini Endurance. So here's the picture. Isn't that just the sweetest thing? That little turtle, and I love him. He speaks to me. So so this one came with all of its floss as well, and 25 count fabric. So I just wanted to share those with you. So those may be 2 projects that get started here sometime in the future. So I look forward to that. I'm thrilled that I have them ready to go, and it's literally just open it up and start stitching. So, okay, so that's enough for haul. I told you that I wanted to give 3 shout outs. This is something I've been trying, I have been neglecting this year. I really did, I think, it fairly well at the end of last year. And I wanted to get back into it this year, and I've been neglecting it. So I wanted to make sure I got to it. These 3 ladies, I got 3 shout outs. These 3 ladies are people that I have watched for a while. None of them are new. But here's the reason I decided. Number 1 is I watch all 3 of them. So I know that they have good channels and they have great projects and they're just fun to watch. So that's first and foremost, is I want to recommend good people that you guys might like to see. I don't always recommend full coverage stitchers. If I find one, that's great. I'm certainly going to recommend that because I love that as well. But I appreciate and I love non-full coverage stitchers as well. I love people who do samplers. I don't really do a lot of samplers, but I love seeing them. I love seeing them stitching on them and how much they enjoy them. And they talk to me about them and I learn about samplers. And just because I don't stitch on it doesn't mean I don't want to watch it. So I want to offer that to you too, if that's an option for you. So, but there's also people that like, they're maybe new to Flosstube. I mean, I've watched Flosstube for a long time, but just because I have doesn't mean somebody might not be new to cross stitching or might not be new to Flosstube. So even though they're tried and true channels, I want to shout them out again, because if you haven't found them, I want to make sure that you have. And if you have, great. You can chime in on the comments and say, absolutely, love these ladies. So the first one is going to be Stitching Moon. Her name is Megan, and her channel is Stitching Moon. She has, 36, 37 videos. I can't remember exactly. She's got a good amount. So it's, you can always go back and watch from the beginning if you want. I love her projects. She has a variety of different projects. She does a lot of kits as well. She actually lives in Norway. She is she was born here in the US and met her husband here, and then he's Norwegian and they moved to Norway. So it's really fun. I think in the last video she showed a Norwegian cross stitch shop. So that's always fun and exciting. She just got a job, so her channel may change a little bit. I don't know what her time frame is going to be, but it's going to be fun to learn about her life working there. So it's even beyond cross stitching. She's just fun to watch. She's got great projects. She gets a lot of stitching done. And so definitely check out Megan over at Stitching Moon. The next one, I have another Megan, and she is this Seattle Stitcher. This Megan is so fun to watch. She's got a style to her, and like, I just want to go have coffee with her. Like, I'm like, Megan, can we have a coffee with Megan channel? Because I just want to talk about like your decorating style and your personal style. Like, I just want to talk about all of it. And she's just talking to me about stitching, but it's great. She's multi-craftual. I think I've seen her now doing some, I forget what it's called, crochet. I don't know if it's called crocheting or knitting. I'm sorry, I don't. But I appreciate what she's doing. She made hats. So I'm sorry, Megan, if I'm speaking poorly, but it's fun to watch. She's got great projects. She is one, I have not seen her do any full coverage. Hey, if you want to do one, just let me know. I think you should jump into it. I think you'd love it because she loves big projects. So she has lots of samplers, beautiful, beautiful stitching. And she's only been stitching and only had a channel for a year. So she is still new to the whole process, and she has just jumped in feet first and done great. So she's got a lot of, even though she's a newer stitcher, she does have a lot of videos. So again, go check her out, the Seattle Stitcher. All of these are going to be linked down below. So you can just click on them and it'll take you right to their listing. And the last shout out that I want to give today is for Janet over at Janet Jabber. I have watched her for years. I love her energy and her enthusiasm. I love when we get to Halloween and her husband decorates their porch and makes like in their yard, makes like mini haunted houses. I mean, I love all of it. So she's got an enthusiasm for stitching that's wonderful. She does a lot of big projects as well. I don't think she's a full coverage stitcher, but she's got big projects. In fact, she just had a big finish. I think she's got one video since then, but it was the last one I watched fully. Sorry, Janet, I haven't got to the newest one. But she is doing the Mirabilia Queens, and she finally got Winter Queen done. I think it was Winter Queen. I'm pretty sure it was Winter Queen that she got done. And oh my, is it gorgeous. It is gorgeous. She's stitching all of them. So I think she's moving on to spring, but it's gorgeous. So definitely she's got a variety of different, some smalls. She's doing a lot of FFOing this year. So if you're interested in that, by all means, she's got some great ideas. So definitely check out Janet at Janet Jabber. You will not regret it, I promise. All three of these you guys will definitely enjoy. And they seem to be fairly regular posters, which I like as well. Because, we always get those favorite channels and then, their life happens and we just don't see them quite as often. So they seem to be fairly regular posters. So, okay, everything will be linked down below. Please make sure you go check them out. So, okay, well, that pretty much wraps it up. You guys, I have talked for 40 minutes. I'm not sure how that happened today, but I appreciate you spending your time with me. Hopefully you've made it to the end, and I will be back in 2 weeks with hopefully a lot more projects and a lot more stitches added into them. So if you've got questions or comments, by all means, don't hesitate to put them down below. Make sure you do the thumbs up. That will help the algorithm. What you like, it helps make sure that things that you like, other people, my videos are going to get to other people who like similar things like you. So that's all. It helps me. So I appreciate it. If you don't mind, give it a thumbs up. Helps spread the word about my channel. So, all right, friends, thank you so much. Everybody have a great 2 weeks. And don't forget, keep stitching those big things.